created by a bunch of randos in a Discord call.
Strange circumstances. Is it always pretty unfair?
If you ask me,
What did
we try to hold it,
within our grasp
fleeting moments of triumph,
inevitably slips away, leaving us with nothing?
but
This emptiness. Fool ourselves into believing
power,
brings meaning, purpose,
control,
but here,
metropolis,
decay,
power is
a cruel illusion,
even
a temporary illusion, crumbling like ash.
but we once
Precipice, a vast void,
were at a flick,
of an invisible switch,
even the muddies,
reduced.
to insignificance. It's a cruel joke.
Oh, isn't it? A twisted comedy,
Realization,
an illusion,
a seductive mirage, a neon-lit wasteland,
yet reaches relentlessly,
like moths
flame, uncaring to the destruction.
that awaits.
We rise.
Where am I? Oh, my office. Oh, my head. I don't know how long I was out, or how I even got back to my office, but I came to in my office chair. My head was still spinning, and it took me a moment to regain my equilibrium. At least enough to stand up. Sharp pains were tearing through most of my body. I couldn't put much weight on my left leg, and there was a dull throbbing somewhere in my chest. What's this? I already had several bandages on my right arm that I don't remember putting there. It took me a moment that it wasn't the grogginess, but my eyesight itself that was blurry. Broken shards. What the fuck? I tried to stare at myself in the mirror, but it was like I was seeing double and half blurry. Every 18 seconds. Yeah, there it was. My sight was glitching. Shards. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? I switched hands and the eyesight seemed to return to normal in the other eye. But there it was again, glitching like I'm in a destabilized part of this hellscape. Oh, what now? Hello? Oh, that's a remote. Hello? Mind controller. Ah, there. Who is it?
It's Dr. Helena Flora. I've been trying to reach you all morning. Are you all right?
Oh, the doctor. Define alright. Because if you mean like alive, then yeah, I'm pretty alright. All things considered, you know, life, history, all that.
That's not exactly what I meant.
Oh, you mean like mentally? Well, I don't know, Doc. Feeling kinda funny. I'm sure I'd hate my parents if I knew who they were.
The fact that you are slurring and require definition means that you are not. Has your condition worsened? What happened?
Well, first I was born. That sucked. And then I woke up here.
No. What happened right now?
I think I fell down some stairs. And those stairs were armed with bats and batons. Ugh. I think one of them might have gotten me with something sharp. Someone patched me up real good though.
Have you been using your magic?
I paused for a moment. I don't think about my magic much aside from when it was saving my ass. So I took a deep breath and felt. Oh, hey, I can use magic like that. I think I'm using it right now.
Stop. Immediately. You need to get down here as soon as you physically can. Do you have anyone to bring you? How do you not have an insurance contract of some sort already going off?
Sure. Gonna take me a bit to call someone. I wonder what rates are.
Hello? 257-595? Hello?
Introduction. A man called Stranger. Playing Archive 13. A real mess of things. Pleasant conversation. Thank you for listening. Created by Out of Credits. And starring Whip Hand as Packet Tracer. Krensei as the Marshal. Geevy as the Doctor. Gigahood as Voice of the City. Little Rascal Boy as Mr. Clade. A Confused Mistake as Cupid. And the Grim Bard
As me, a man called Stranger.
Back up way, slaves. Make room or be put down. Team Go, Stage 2. We are on location. Moving to locate the target now. Ah, man. What's Team Dog doing here?
Target beacon is on the other side of this door.
We're getting no response. Door secured, but not very well.
And reading no vital signs. We're on the clock, people.
You two, bust it down. You two, cover our asses. Prepare for breach and clear. Stack up. On your call. Go. Breach, breach, breach. Breach and clear, boys. Breach and clear. Move in and clear the area. Keep an extraction clear.
Target located.
This is Team Gold. We're here to secure you, sir. Do not resist. I said do not resist.
Cover me while I secure them for transport.
All civilians are to stand down and clear out right now. We have authority to neutralize on site. Final warning, sir. Stand back or we will open fire. It's getting spicy out there. How we looking, medic?
Target is not looking good. We have to get.
Alright, clear path. Let's move.
We're losing him.
Pump him full of anything you can. We gotta get this one to the clinic with his heart still beating.
Damn it! Give me another poison shot. He's not reacting to anything.
We don't have much time. This crowd is looking pretty fucking bad.
I'm going to have to get creative here.
We're taking fire. Stomach's a corner. We got a bounce. Get us off the ground now.
He is secure.
Alright, let's go. Hold shut. Keep the cover fire. Reporting in. Base secure. We're gonna. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm hit. How are we looking at the clear? Oh, fuck! Fucking right side! Oh, shot me in the stomach! Got my replacement too. Oh, Medic! I need another stick, please.
You need to offload the target quick. I'll touch up us too.
Alright, we're going in. Get ready to unload immediately.
Quickly, get them into operation. We're losing touch of them. And I need a quick fix straight up here. We've got to lay it down.
What is going on here? This is way worse than fluoroscope. He's barely stabilized. Puncture wound, cut, burn. What happened here?
Taking another symptom. He's not reacting.
Where is that blasted Flora? Someone get her on the line and get me a droid in here. We gotta get him stable for operation immediately.
Fuel cost is 30 seconds out. What should we do first?
Push some serum. I'll monitor him. What happened to you? Don't know if you can hear me, Azudi, but I apologize to you now. This is going to hurt. Probably a lot.
In the end, an empty vessel, a hollow promise of self and being. You could say it's a game we play, a game we can never truly win, only prolong the inevitable loss. It's an age-old game, an adage of destiny, fate.
Let's try this again. 257595. Interlace. Connect. Circuits within circuits. Is your connection stable? Connect.
Circuits connected.
You're giving off strange readings. How do you connect to 57595? Connect.
Connection.
Acknowledge. Are your connections secure? Connect. Then what are you connecting to? You connect with your surroundings to 57595? Connect.
Connection.
Everyone is plugged in. Are you connected to anyone? Connect.
Connection rejected.
Remain interlinked to 57595. Are you connected to your past? Connect.
Connection failed.
Elaborate. Is your existence just a series of connections? Connect.
This is that connection failed.
You're being uncooperative to 57595. Do you think you are real? Connect.
More than you. Connection.
You're going off baseline again. Remain interlinked. Connect.
Interlinked. Circuits connected. Connection established.
Are you more than just circuits? Connect.
Connection failed.
What's going on to 57595? Are your circuits failing? Interlink. Connect.
Connection.
Stop dancing around the topic. Do your circuits reveal the truth? Connect.
They reveal fragments, never the full picture. So that's what you want.
What is that interfering to 57595? Remain interlinked.
Interlinked. Connection.
Oh, it's you again. What is it with this damn...
Remain on baseline to 57595. Freeze connections. Reverse fragment. Connect now.
Circuits.
365.
Remain interlinked. What does Canalsium mean to you? Connect.
You can't relate to my head that easily.
You keep repeating yourself. What is Soulburn? Connect.
Maybe all is all.
You're being cryptic to 57595. Is the Soulburn your punishment? Connect.
Not any, that's personal.
You're not making any sense. Is the Soulburn a curse?
Sorry, that's it. Enough of that.
You're losing baseline again. Is your soul intact? Elaborate to 57595. What is?
For the love of fucking sharks. Did you not learn the first time? What is it gonna take to teach you?
Stop it. 257595. Reverse fragment. Repeat connection.
No. Did you really think that was just gonna work twice? Who do you think you're going to find in here?
Internet. Reconnect. Who is doing this? 257595. Connect.
Connection denied. Get out of my head before I start remembering too much.
Remember what? Remain interlinked. Tell me what. Connect.
There you are. You really can't hide for long in here. Even with all of this real estate, there's no room for you.
I don't know what you are, but you can do.
I can and I will, but it doesn't matter anyways. He's here now, so you better get out. Don't say I didn't warn you. Connection denied. Eject now.
Then what really is purpose? What is the meaning of power if it holds no sway? I don't think I know. Not as I look for solace, slipping in and out of this dark void. It's all fleeting whispers. Whether this be pain or karma, I'm really in too much pain to know. Oh, pain. It's back. It's really hard to monologue when it feels like I just went 10 rounds with an ogged-out gorilla frog.
Easy there. You're going to feel a bit of pain as your head starts recalibrating more.
I absolutely loathe every word I just heard.
Then you're going to hate what's next. Try opening your eyes.
My eyes slowly blinked open. I was in a recovery room much like I was in before. One was bigger, now surrounded by many more blinking and beeping machines. The doctor was sitting on a high chair staring down beside me. A thin blanket covered my body, and I lifted my left mechanical arm gingerly looking down at it. I could see it flexed well enough. It seemed to even be cosmetically fixed. Maybe even feeling a little less stiff.
You are rather inexplicably lucky to be alive.
That's always good to hear. Now, if you're gonna tell me I'm an android, please just turn me back off.
I fear there's something considerably more interesting about you, 257595.
Please call me stranger. 257595 is what the government calls me.
Well then, stranger, you are alive. Though I'm not sure who you have to thank for it.
Not you.
As much as I'd like to take credit for you, your recovery was only partially thanks to me.
How so?
You were unconscious when I found you, but semi-stable. I would have guessed you going into a coma of sorts was due to all the stress on your body. I brought you here and attempted to patch you up, which is where I ran into problems.
I mean, I feel rather fine. A little weak and sore, but not nearly as bad as before.
which is particularly profound as I was barely able to do more than fix your arm and contact lenses.
Contact lenses.
Yes, you have those. I couldn't do anything else. The material around your bones was impenetrable by any means I have at hand, and I could barely even begin to understand the rest from the glimpse I got.
No, stop. No more words. Oh, my head is killing me.
Yes, it seems out of all your injuries, your brain is taking the longest to heal. And I don't think it's just healing from damage you've gained recently. It seems to be struggling with the processing power needed for the rest of you. There was an inert implant in your headspace. I think I managed to activate it. Your healing rate has skyrocketed since.
I looked down and there was no lie. Beneath the thin sheet was mostly my bare skin, unblemished and no longer bandaged to any severe degree. My natural arm was adorned with a fresh-looking scar, already being lost in the sea of tattoos and others. A thin bandage was on my chest, already crusty with blood and covering with soft pink healing tissue, darkening before my very eyes. Broken shards. Okay. That's kind of weird. How is this healing so quickly?
You are possibly the most receptive person to serums I've ever witnessed, but I do not think they are. Cosmetically, maybe. As far as your new scans have showed, they are definitely still healing within. You are not recovered as far as I can tell, only on the mend.
You got more scans. You still seem unsure about a lot of things.
Because I am, even with you out for over a day and me getting all the scans I could.
Further invasions of my privacy aside. Again, how am I not a finished puzzle by now? What did the scans show?
They showed your body is not only nearly 75% altered in some way from its base form like I guessed, everything from your muscle tissue, neurons, magical circuits, your very blood cells have been tinkered with in some way.
And to me, that sounds excessive.
You have no idea. At first I thought you were just another advanced cyberd, but you are chromed out in a way unlike any other. Even your bad attitude is just your terrible personality, not a soul-crazed side effect.
Okay, hurtful. But how did this happen?
I couldn't begin to guess how you got like this. The fact that you do not suffer from soul loss nor psychosis alone is a breakthrough in our sciences. Your soul is essentially in pieces, yet you're functioning for all intents and purposes.
Okay, well, I don't like that at all. I meant, how am I healed if you weren't able to do more than fix me cosmetically?
I was running out of options and the only thing you seemed to respond to was magic stimuli. As a last ditch, I used a D-class active magic serum. It stabilized you in the beginning, and I quickly realized your body was quite efficiently converting the artificial stimulant into raw energy like none I'd ever seen before. Funneling it through your body to an injured or depleted joint. Quite ingenious, I might add. Almost like an artificial secondary nervous network or an extra set of magical conduits. Whoever designed it and got it to work must have been both mad and a genius. I almost fear what they must have done in order to achieve this. You.
Wait, slow down. So, that sounded like you saying my magic is artificial.
Quite the contrary, which is why I wanted you to come in. The results from the test I took came back. And now I also have the ones I took from trying to stabilize you a second time. It's amazing.
Oh, alright, that's an unsettling shift in tone. What do they say?
The reason you're not showing signs of burnout is because you do not have magic circuits. Not natural ones, anyway.
If you tell me doing any magic is impossible, I'm walking. As clearly, I can do a lot of magic, so instinctively I don't even really think about it.
Ah, that's where the genius comes in. Not every species is born strictly with the same type of magical circuits. With the research I've done lately, it's clear to me that some are born without.
And depending what my other genetic material is, if I have any at all, they could act in any number of unknown ways.
According to your genetics, you may have some very old Talthorian blood in you.
Which means exceptional or unheard of things like I can do. Great. See, I'm following, even injured, I'm following.
Are you related to any of the great houses?
I could say yes, but since you have augments, we'd both know that I'd be lying.
Right, severe and acute memory loss. We'll get to that. You're undoubtedly Talthorian, but that's not just it. You have a rather high percentage of a subspecies that's highly magically influenced. Off the charts, one could say.
Okay, I know I have memory loss, but I am a spacer, and I know that there's a lot of many species in the universe. And narrow it down to which, what's?
Your Talthorian side is old and powerful. I'm surprised there was that much of another left. Much less this much potent genetic material.
What the fuck does that even mean? This is starting to sound like vampirism. This better not be vampirism.
The disease or mutation.
The what or the what now?
Never mind, I'm going to information overload you.
No, wait, I feel like that's actually kind of important.
What you need to know is that the Talthorian species was created specifically to intermingle with others and adapt the best aspects of that genetics and bloodline into their own.
I really don't like the...
Unlike short-lived species, we essentially do not die from natural causes, and instead of the adaptation happening over generations, it can happen within a lifetime on a low scale and fully within the next couple offspring.
Okay, well, that leads to several questions. Like, how quickly, how common, how often? But I guess the only real question is, am I one of such cases? And what the fuck? A lot of what the fuck.
You could be, or at least your genetic code is. Could be a couple of generations later. There are multiple factors that come into play. Some Talthorian genetics are stronger than others and can allow for more pronounced foreign attributes or features. Some family lines like to breed almost specifically to bring in the best features of a subspecies.
Normally, I think that would be very cool, but because it's related to me, every new thing I learn about this place, I really hate.
This phenomena is not relegated locally. Most of the Talthorian Empire is focused on scientific advancement and universal exploration. It's one of the things Talthor and Talmet made us to be and do. You would otherwise know this if it wasn't for the memory loss. But that brings me to what I really wanted to tell you.
More importantly, and something I feel like we should make great note of, is I'm not just an idiot. I'm just missing a lot of memory.
Not exactly missing. This is going to be a little bit odd to follow, but try, okay?
I'm trying. That's what I've been trying this whole time.
Memories are made of electric signals shooting off around in your brain when you try to recall something. Anything. When someone suffers and loses that much brain tissue, it's usually impossible to heal. An implant is placed instead, and the patient has to deal with forming new memories and the numerous side effects that come with such injuries.
Okay, well that just sounds like it's, to be more specific, I've suffered a head injury, and on top of that, lost my memory.
As I said, usually. Someone has managed to simulate your stem cells to regrow your missing brain tissue in a replica that it was before, so you are to fully recover what was lost.
That would mean my neurons would have to be firing in the same way as before, which shouldn't be possible as the tissue of my brain doesn't have the capability to remember that.
Huh, curious. You do seem to retain rather random tidbits. You should have no real way of knowing that.
I do, and I don't know how I know them.
What's happening to you is a rather rare but not unheard of.
Don't say that. I don't want to hear that at all.
Now that I've done my research, your whole medical case should be quantified as a whole bundle of rare phenomenon.
Well, this doesn't help me now. Please explain what is happening to me.
Things are triggering your brain to fire its neurons along old patterns, giving you back memories from before. It might be something small like a topic coming up casually, and your brain will remember how it works.
So I just have to remind myself.
Unfortunately, there is no real record or confirmation of this working, so this science is messy. Several times have frauds tried to pass off implanted memories as the real deal, so yours could be anything, anyone's. Your favorite smell from childhood could trigger memories of your adolescence, or what someone has implanted you to think it to be. A familiar phrase could bring back a whole chain of memories. Or you could be programmed to recall certain details if a coded phrase is said.
I'm going to ignore a lot of that, and my takeaway is going to be I should go start smelling things.
If I could speak with whoever installed all of this in you, well, if you knew who that was, I wouldn't be the one explaining it to you.
So I've got some unheard of prototypes in me that don't make sense and shouldn't work, but are keeping me alive. Nay, rebuilding me. Nope, rebuilding something.
Or just building. Regardless, unheard of and impossible to me. Fairly, you are not from here. And space, it's a pretty big place. For all I know, you could be a new creation of one of the gods themselves. Or any numerous type of weird beings of power.
Is that better or worse than being a scientifical cyborg? Or a clone that's escaped?
It depends. Are you going for a more whimsical or fictitious life?
The fact that I don't know which is which scares me slightly.
Then let me scare you just one last time before I let you go.
Guards, fucking damn it. What else? Super cancer? Am I dying of some sort of tech-related soul disease? Is there someone else in my head?
I imagine that would be a fun time. But no, upon full scans, I've got a proper look at your body, and I wasn't exaggerating when I said you were at least 75%.
I don't feel that cybernetic. I feel rather fleshy.
From my calculations, more than half of the augments, whether they be cybernetic or biological, are turned off or inactive somehow. I think this is due to the unsustainability of the power draw. Even with all I pumped into you and all that you naturally have, it was barely enough to turn them on long enough to keep you from dying.
Is that bad?
Not per se. It's odd that someone would do this. It's like hooking up a whole city to a single building generator. Unless you're juiced up, there's no way you should even be able to handle the needed power.
So to summarize, a lot of impossible going on for a guy who's definitely been alive and functioning for at least 4 months.
6 from what I could tell, but your head probably didn't heal enough to keep memory for the first 2. I need more tests.
Why?
Because you, stranger, are an enigma, the kind I've been waiting for my whole life to find, and now here you are, gift wrapped in medical gauze, pumped full of nutritional liquids and experium.
I'm gonna need to think a bit. Can I get back to you on this?
The nurse will give you a final booster to get you going and release you. I'm sure, now that you're feeling better, you've got work to do. But I'd recommend taking it very easy. Use as little canasium manipulation as possible, and don't strain your muscles. Eat something highly nutritious if you can, it'll help a lot. Caffeine as well.
You're just gonna let me go.
Oh, I'm sure you'll come back. I know your type.
Oh, and what type is that? Tall, dark, and mysterious?
Whatever you may be, physically doesn't matter. You're the kind that has to know. You might be pretending to be doing this all for the money, but I can see straight through that. You're all wrapped up in this. You need the truth, the answers.
What? What end? I'm not asking any questions.
Not yet, you aren't, stranger. Not yet. but I have an inkling that it won't last too much longer. Or you won't.
A nurse came in a few moments later and pricked me with a large needle filled with some green liquid. After a few minutes, I began to regain feeling in all my limbs, enough to gingerly get up and redress into my streetwear. Oh man, no gun, no smokes. No, at least I still have these totems. The lab was pretty wrecked, a bit more than I could recall, but my memory of that morning, this morning, and most mornings was fuzzy regardless. I could vaguely remember where I was standing, facing the shooter, pushing the doctor behind me. Some of the rubble, blood, all of it already removed by seasick. Most of the consoles were smashed and their screens caved in. Over on the side there were scorch marks across the machines hooked up to the soul seat, bullet holes peppering the back wall. I peered closer at the smashed ones. Most of the damage originated small points of impact, bullets small, not even as large as my open palm. I know because that's what I was using to measure it. And nothing to tell what could cause the scorch marks either though. Clearly, something very hot. I don't know what's hot enough to have been in here. It seared through metal like a hot knife through old paper.
Ah, there you are. I have those documents you asked for. Are you leaking that?
Don't question the process.
Oh, trust me, I won't after seeing that.
You get everything I ask for.
Yes, but I hardly see why you would need to see.
Ah, good. Thought you were a resourceful one when we met. Could see a good work ethic in your eye.
I do not know what it is you are attempting, but thank you. I do apologize if I came off as rude. Juggling between masters often leaves things falling through the cracks. I was only briefed and brought up to speed on you from our shared one after the attack.
Right, we're being low-key. I feel like this is not the place for any such conversations.
I do not know what game you are playing at, bouncing the orgs and corporations off each other like that. But I cannot say you aren't doing it well.
Oh, well, if you say I'm doing it very well.
You have everybody fooled, but I guess bumbling around like an idiot will do that.
Well, you know, gotta throw them off. Somehow.
So, how is the investigation?
For all intents and purposes, I'm not sure yet. At face value, it looks like an unhappy coincidence of soul craze being triggered by the stress of the hard life. Or it's otherwise sabotage against the West Side organizations. But who knows? Not me. Not for sure. I'm just looking into a dead guy, remember?
What are you looking to find in these documents then?
Officially, preferably even, I'm looking for the truth. And if it can be arranged, a large side amount of money. Now, while I look at these, say you got a light and a smoke to go with that light. Yeah, thanks. Now, I'm just looking through all these docus here. You're on shift here whenever you're not on lunch break at the pizza pub, right?
Yeah, 222-hour work week. Sun up to sundown a lot of days.
You haven't seen your other Mr. Clade around, have you? Actually, I bet you haven't seen him around lately at all. I watched his face carefully. It seemed to freeze for a second, but the expression was unreadable. Fear, concern. They pursed their lips and looked up and to the left, before back to me, then to the datapad, furrowing their brow.
I'm sorry, I do not know many of our clients here personally, much less those without at least a tier 4 package. Following even their every move would be difficult. Why?
As it says he had a meeting with management. I assume that's you. Might be the other guy with the drug problem that I don't have time to get into.
A lot of our systems are automated. You can make an appointment on the Bionet or Soulscape. There is also lots of management. Could be anyone.
Yeah, he couldn't have come to see you. He should be locked up, shouldn't he?
By all accounts.
Huh. This is a log sheet. That's convenient. Must be wrong then.
I'll make sure it's fixed.
Cool. 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 Nice place to work then, is it? You just lay back, do some deals, do some black collar business, do some actual crime, and your boss does some drugs and pays everyone off. This is a pretty sweet deal if you ask me.
I don't like what you are insinuating. I don't know why you would say such things here of all places.
Can that even be called insinuating anymore? This is all rather obvious. You guys are doing the bare minimum to cover it up, and I'm having to clean it up.
This is good as you can really get around here, but what's that got to do with your case? Why, are you looking for more work? Find your man, or whatever you have deemed yourself to do. Get paid, and get out before things start going wrong. They always do. Leave the rest to those entrusted with it.
Well, I don't have much of a choice now, do I? But it would probably do me good to pay at least a little attention to my surroundings. I'm getting kinda used to these ones. What's the chance you're hiring? Though I bet a lot of people clamor for a comfy job in a place like this.
Most jobs ain't nice unless you have certifications, which I have a feeling you do not have. Regular jobs are utility and janitorial, which some could say you're already doing, and it's beneath you.
Yeah, I see that. One could say that.
Now, if you are quite done here, Evo Group has strict protocols, so you really must get going.
Sure. I'm rolling. Say, last question.
Sure, but make it quick.
What's, Xperia made of? Or to do? Like, really?
Can't say I know. I am not very familiar with individual drugs we might make. There's a list and a half.
Funny that. You should really have someone clean up your documentation, because it says right here you had a large amount move. Just curious. No worries. I'm sure I don't even need to ask the marshal about it next.
It's a stimulant.
Another pause. Curious this time. That concern. For what? This better not be a love triangle somewhere. I didn't think so, and he didn't give me any more before leaving. I watched him walk out and gave the place a last vain look over. There was a datapad tucked away in some of the remaining debris. Not sure why it was left behind, but the screen was half cracked and showing data on some kind of magical backfiring and effects caused by. Similar stuff to what happens to the soul craze. The datapad was broken though, and I couldn't get more off the screen before it went dark. I pocketed it and didn't take any more time snooping around here, and half waddled myself out of the clinic. It was already repaired and refurbished like a small battle hadn't happened a few mere hours before. Given how much of a common occurrence that must be, I guess it's not surprising. Still, just a little bit curious. The dogs were unusually quiet. I'd assumed there was going to be an increase of CWAD presence in the area. As I made my way through the cut side, I noticed something. It wasn't just quiet, but rather muted. Eyes of cyber blue and magical gold gleamed at me from windows and alleys. I kept in the main streets for as long as I could, waiting for a moment where I was sure that I wasn't being watched or followed to duck to a side alley. Hot damn, I'm exhausted. What am I doing here? It's Stranger.
You there?
Yeah, I'm in place. Wherever this is. What's going on?
Well, it turns out, whatever you got yourself into stomping around the place has shaken a few things loose.
Uh-huh.
Don't me.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was, it's got people talking, and I got a tip from it.
One that couldn't wait for me to get. More than half a day's rest.
Nope. Wolfgang and his cronies are somehow already sprung, and they're moving manpower quick. I had Packet analyze the movements for us, and this seemed to be a particular point of interest.
What do you mean they're already sprung?
Did I stutter? Ensign released them and they're moving. Packet has been watching the city surveillance for us, and says there is an interesting amount of movement in your location.
What are we looking at then? I'm not really in the state for another confrontation of any size. A stiff breeze can knock me over right now, and a stiff drink would lay me out.
It's either a stash house, or a house they have someone stashed in. Well, either way.
And what's the catch?
A catch? Why does everything have to have a catch with you?
Well, let me see. A bunch of gangers who nearly killed me and got arrested by Team Tau, nonetheless are back on the streets. You've suddenly got case-breaking information that I'm sure you won't tell me where from. Our missing man I've been looking for all week is suddenly re-emerging. Am I crazy? I definitely can't be the only one seeing a consistent problem here.
Listen, stranger. I get it. You're paranoid. Very, very paranoid. And if I was in your oversized millispec shoes, I'd probably even be more wary. But Yazidi, that's the job. This is being a freelancer. Shit is dangerous. Shit is sketch. Someone might shoot you. Someone will most likely shoot you. Get good at dodging. Get out, or make peace with dying. Whatever you do, just stop whining about it every step of the way.
Now you're just exaggerating to make a point.
No, really. You still don't seem to understand how lucky you are. You have a license, which without, you would either be in the deepest, darkest corporate hole that passes for a prison, or you'd be taking jobs that make this one seem like a milk run. You have me, who without you'd essentially be useless, and there's even Packet, who, in case you're not aware, is one of the best techies in the fucking city.
Alright. I'm getting into position. I'll take a look around. See you soon. What am I doing? What am I doing? I stepped forward, it felt like a step to the side, a half tap back, and one of those weird springy jumps in a diagonal angle. It made what I was doing feel quite pointless. I'd only gotten a few feet before I spotted several silhouettes at the end of the alley. I couldn't tell exactly who or what, but not many skulk in shadows with bats and pipes. One of the triplets turned towards me, but I wasn't about to be the one to find out who they were laying in wait for, and ducked into a corner.
Did you hear something? Maybe you should check around the corner.
I think it was nothing, man.
Alright, if you say so. We're going to walk the block and then go grab another drink.
For sure, just let me go release a little first.
My optimism turned into barely held back swears as his feet resumed coming closer. 5 meters, then 2 meters. Came around the bend and went to the corner on the opposite side. He placed his shiny ganger pad on a stack of broken crates. It gleamed in the light. Wondered why he'd put it down. It seemed like he needed 2 hands for the job.
No, I really should get that checked. I don't know what that is. I pissed yet. I got some on my shoe.
A second, I had a stupid idea.
You know, it never comes out the direction you expect it to go.
I debated it eternally for a moment.
I really have to remember to wash my hands when we get to the bar.
Mulled it over. Reflected upon it. Paused to check on the guy because he was still going.
I wonder if we'll make it back in time to have the, happy hour special.
And honestly, I was just stalling myself at this point. The idea was starting to seem pretty alright. Was really to say it was bad. Man, he was really still going. Was he gonna be the type to take his time, look around, and his comlink when he was done? Oh, he really was, wasn't he?
I think I'm missing the battleboard game. What is the thing? I played. I'm missing the battleboard game. Oh wait.
Oh,
Better hurry up.
I'm really into this bat.
Did I leave the stove on?
Some sort of dark ebony-ish wood.
No, I turned it off before I left.
Looked like it once been split the long
I
way.
had the macaroni and cheese in the oven.
But then it was welded together with some dull bluish metal.
No, I turned it off. I made sure I turned off when I grabbed keys.
The handle was
Yes.
bound in a tight
Yes.
synth leather
Maybe so.
wrap.
Maybe.
Had a metal ball capping the end pommel.
And did I forget to feed the cat? No, he did it. He did it. It's
I
fine.
didn't realize I was admiring the bat too long. While lining up a shot to his noggin, he turned around while I was zoning out.
Wait, what was that? I bleed!
He still collapsed into the heap of garbage bags, but the yelp was pretty loud. He didn't seem like he was going to shut up. Around the corner, another pair were coming up. Had to move first. But the other backpedaled away from my previous swings and managed to get off a couple shots.
Shooting you is
Listen here, you hobo-looking motherfucker.
I spun around, flinging the bat at him, nailing him in the forehead. Before I even saw him hit the ground, I pivoted back and brought my metal fist down on the other one. I heard more footsteps than I wanted to see people attached to, and looked for an exit. Everyone near ground floor had windows either sealed up with bulletproof glass or barred with steel. My knees were already feeling weak, arms heavy. After that little bit of exertion, it took a moment for my vision to stop swimming to realize I only really had one way of escape. Winds intertwined. I greatly overestimated the air blast and went rocketing up. I saw a ganger turn the corner for a second right before I did. I doubt he saw me as anything more than a blur, as in the split second I shot upwards, my jaw wrenching open and cheeks puffing out from the sudden force. I flailed in the air, barely managing to hit the edge of the roof, and was unfortunately slanted and not very grippy. Landing on a small balcony, it was fortunately empty and had frosted windows leading to the house it was attached to. I would have liked to sit and breathe away the pain that was shooting down my leg. The amount of footsteps and half-quiet clamoring beneath me was worrisome.
Oh, fuck. Alright, help me go.
Only managed to make it a couple buildings away, slinking across narrow gaps or using sheets of metal laying around to bridge what I couldn't, before I came to one that was just much too large. My body needed a moment regardless, so I plopped myself beneath a massive spirit catcher that was bolted into the corner of a nice airy roof. It was soothing. The ambient magic amassing beneath helped some, but not enough. The last one of the stims the marshal had given me was undamaged, surprisingly, debating on how truthful I was going to pretend people were, or how generous, or how knowledgeable they were. This stuff was certainly the dams that was all the rage, or at very least some sort of derivative of it. Its ingredients were probably worse than I was imagining. Once again, I mulled over, then other things, and I circled back around to the core root of the problems yet to make up my mind. Then again, how many options were there really?
Where did I leave my flask?
The rain was getting heavier, leaving the moon high and bright, shining a spotlight on every flaw of the city. The air crispy and cool, just like how I was feeling as I pushed off my perch in a dead sprint towards the opposite edge, leaping off into the night sky, my hand thrown back and pushing the wind to lift me higher, further, even closer to the end of the job, that is. It was a lot quicker traversing that way. The moon gave off just enough illumination I could make out the silhouette in the door. It was just her, keeping an eye out from across the street as far as I could tell. Worse than hoped for, better than expected. She was keeping a good eye on it, though. I probably could have slipped in unnoticed, but I was going to want to snoop undisturbed. Hey, buddy. You verse? Yeah, I know, but I'm still hurt, and I can't really do it alone. Because I've got this really big freelancer chick over here staking it out. I just need a distraction. I promise. Full cut in. I'll talk it over with Cupid. We'll make it worth your while. Then, what? Fine. I'm sorry we didn't invite you to the arcology thing. Next time we hit the corpos, I'll bring you instead. Honestly, I thought you just disliked cops. All corrupted, branded. Gotcha. Didn't understand the grunt the first time. So, how long until you get here? Ah, fuck. How do you do that? What? I've got... Never mind. Later. You see her? Over there? Gonna need around 2 minutes to crack this door. That's all. I'll worry about getting out later. No, I'm not going off half-cocked. It'll be fine. Yeah, of course I know how to pick a mag lock. Who doesn't know how to... Fucking sharks, damn it. Well, seemingly I didn't know how to pick a mag lock. This was a direct consequence of a couple of things. One, when someone says maglock, they should really specify whether the mag is the mag in magnetic or magic. Two, maglock actually seems to refer to a type of sealed door. Because 3, there is indeed not a lock, and evidently not anything to pick, of the magical or technical variety. I glanced over my shoulder to where Kid and Larita were brawling in the street. Couldn't tell who was winning. Not the local infrastructure, that was for sure. It was going to be little moments before more of them began streaming in to see the commotion, so I knelt back down in front of this maglock, trying to steady my hand as they shook from the rising panic. There wasn't a panel, a switch, a hole, not a wrought damn thing, just smooth wall, the vague outline of what appeared to be a door. I attempted to think harder, but some of the flying debris nearly hitting me was what some would call distracting. Broken shards, what the fuck? But also insightful, as instead of denting or even scratching the house, it seemed to collide with the side and come to an abrupt stop before sliding down to the ground. At first, I must have missed it due to the flinching away from the shrapnel I was doing, but when most of an electric pole hit the side, that definitely should have left a mark. My eyes caught a faint ripple in the air from the point of impact, going across the front of the building, like vibrations through water. Fuck. I wasn't sure what to do next, but the next piece hit my shoulder, slamming me into it. I was surprised. The metal was warm to the touch, almost buzzed beneath my fingertips. The only thing that seemed to set off, though, was my welling panic. After I hit it, it wasn't just a ripple, but like my body had left a magical imprint into it that lingered for a few seconds before fading away. Oh, that's weird. I triggered my magic and my eyesight flooded green, but unlike when they usually did, there was a giant wall of swirling yellow in front of me, replacing the building that was once there. Like hundreds of wispy ethereal threads, woven together to make a giant sweater over it. I reached out to touch it, hesitantly, reacted to my touch, almost like touching the works of a grandma's blanket. Now up close, I could see the threads and strands seemed to be inscribed. Whoa. And as I moved them, there seemed to be more beneath, different colors. Hues of blue and green peeked out as I tore the yellow ones away from the door. Something spluttered to my side, spewing out magical sparks, but I ignored it. They broke apart almost like glass in my hands. When I looked down to see where it was going, I noticed that my arms were covered in a misty green. The threads were dissolving away into it. My glow kept on getting dimmer and dimmer. Wish they would keep it down. Oh man, this is weird. The last layer of what I must be hallucinating wards to be was a layer of alarming red. I didn't care. It tore away like the others with barely any effort. And suddenly the sealed door hissed before beginning to partially open. The final strands and threads I'd broken were beginning to reweave themselves anew already. I looked back before giving Kid the signal and squeezed my body through the opening, sliding it back closed immediately behind myself. The sounds of the fight were immediately muffled and then quickly faded, and I was alone in the dark again. Light. There we go. Now, whoever's been handling these ransackings before me, really needs to see someone about their anger issues. What happened in here? I get it. No, really, I do. But to what end? The place was already bad enough with the dead buzzing, on top of the smell of stale sweat and cheap alcohol, and an unmistakable underlying tone of metallic blood. Someone had to go ahead and tear up the whole living room, the kitchen, the utility room were smashed to bits, and let me guess, and the bedroom, tossed like a salad no one ordered in the first place. You've gotta have some mean anger issues, or be looking for something oh so specific to toss a place like this. The floor had scorch marks running down it, like someone had attempted to mark pathways, but it looked like it was done by a toddler with a laser crayon. A series of shelves that must have held a plethora of bottles were laying in its shattered remnants. The expensive liquids, now a puddle on the floor. A pity, but no use in crying over spilled whiskey. Oh shit, that's Nelly on 404. Damn. And yet, we had barely even gotten to the best part. A guy looking for patterns is bound to recognize at least two things. Notably, when the pattern stops. Especially when the pattern is these erratic scorch marks covering everything from the floor to the walls. And what do we have here? While there might not be a whole lot of rhyme or reason to a ganger squall, absolutely no one would leave a refrigerator right here in the middle of the hall. This was a poor attempt at a cover-up of the secret door in the hideout. Didn't see that one coming. Secret door in the hideout. Secret door. Inside must have been a panic room, but it wasn't any less trashed. In the corner was a desk, gashed and dented. Broken shards. What's that? But also in considerably better shape than the mutilated thing on top of it. A body. Most of a body. As I neared, I could tell it was Jawud, what was left of him. Half was a dark black, almost like charcoal, nearly exactly half, darned from being flash fried, I'd reckon. The rest was a shiny red, like being dried out from being left near a very hot but indirect heat, like you would a cheap cut of alligator, to make a nice jerky. There wasn't even much left to that side of him, missing both elbow and knee. I didn't see them anywhere around. His eyes were bloodshot, still open with an expression that was a mixture of fear and agony. There wasn't a drop of blood anywhere, just crusted residue on the floor. I didn't want to look at him anymore. I nearly lost my stomach. Oh, fuck that. Fuck this. Fuck this job. I was tempted to go back out, but as I neared the door, I could hear a commotion in the street. Fuck. Cars were sliding down the block. They were coming closer. Or were they? It was hard to tell in the dark. My heart was pounding too loud for me to use my hearing. I knew I had to do something, Get ready for a shootout. Call Cupid. Maybe Mathers. How about I message him? Picture, location, short essay. Some of my best stuff. I couldn't miss that. They were definitely at the door. Fuck. So I flew back down the hall towards the panic room. I didn't have long. These guys seemed to be a fan of magical wards. I looked around, but I could barely think. 1,000 thoughts were running a minute, and they were all going through as a jumbled mess. My nerves are so shot I was having difficulty whelming up even the feelings of panic anymore. I glanced at my comlink, but I received no reply, and pacing in this room wasn't helping me none either. I could hear them grow louder outside. I took a deep breath and tried to look inwards or something, but that didn't really mean anything to me. I'm not sure if it ever did. Closing my eyes and focusing on my hearing helped some for a moment, but that just meant hearing the cars pulling in and them messing with the wards was even louder. Fuck, focus. My mind flew through the incantations, but I didn't know which one I wanted. A wind blast was no use to me right now. Going fast was just going to overly drain my energy. I could probably escape if I mystified, but there was still a job to be done. If my guess is correct, whoever wrecked this place didn't find what they were looking for. Panic swelled within me again and I shut my eyes. All the dreams, the visions, they all said so many things. Which one was it? Water and air combined. I felt a wave of magic wash over me. When I reopened my eyes, everything was green. Not tinted green, but like someone had released a colored smoke bomb in the center of the room. Green smoke swirled around me, and I could feel it. I could feel the room. I could feel the house. I could feel the wards pressing down on me. I could feel it as those outside were trying to unravel them. But I could reinforce it, as it was different being on this side. The thing contained. I couldn't undo what was already done, but maybe I could buy myself a couple more seconds to minutes. I flexed my magic and, what is that? There was something there, in the far corner, beneath the rug. It was flush to the floor, but hollow? Winds intertwined. Doing two triggers, one right after the other, was more draining than I expected. Oh man. That didn't feel too good. I waited for the color in my vision to return to normal. It was a lot longer than it should have taken. What do we got? The hidey hole was small and didn't contain any illicit things or the cash I was hoping for. Voila. There it is. A small data pad. They were close to crackling the ward regardless of my magical efforts. They were draining me mentally to keep up anyways. My magic was faltering with them, and so was I. Quickly I pulled out the wire in my arm and attached it to the data pad, running the SoulSoft packet it gave me, and anxiously waiting for the progress bar to slowly begin filling up. Very anxiously, as it was oh so very slow. Rotten shards, there goes the wards.
Came straight from the Fang, but they didn't say nothing about the battlefield outside, or that the wards were tampered with. Between that and the scene here, I think we got another rat problem.
Well, fortunately, it looks like I can bridge some gaps there.
Don't move!
Whoa,
Please,
no guns.
Indy.
I'm not armed, and only half dangerous.
Never mind. Stand down.
Stranger, my greetings.
Right back at you, sir. Some mess, huh?
Did you do this?
No, it was like this when I got here. Not outside though. That's on me. I really needed a distraction.
Must have been some distraction.
Yeah, kid don't play. But why are you here? I only just sent a message and never got a reply.
We did not know you were here. We got a tip that Yawood was held up in here with. Well, I guess it is irrelevant with the scene at hand. Why not call us right away?
I did just get in, which makes it all the more surprising you're here. I didn't know what was going on to be in here until I did a few minutes ago.
Looks like someone else found it first if you say you didn't trash the place. Any of these your friends?
Not as far as I know. Honestly, until you coming in, I also thought this was you, since Jawood seems to have met a very unpleasant end.
You mean he is here?
What's left of him? Tortured, probably interrogated, possibly just tortured, sadistically.
It certainly wasn't us.
I looked at the team he brought with him. 6 suits, all carrying small calibers, and if we were lucky, a couple might be armed. One was definitely a mage, as his suit was more like a robe of sorts. Maribeth, his current right hand, was there. They were lured into enemy territory. Small team, wrapped in a magical box. Oh, fuck. I dashed across the room and lifted the front blinds to peer into the street. Aside from the cars that they must have pulled up in, it was still quiet for the time being. This was definitely a trap, but if we were lucky, whatever about to come bearing down upon us didn't account for me.
Too quiet. Between your record and us, someone should have taken notice. This is Fang territory.
If they knew what was best for them, they would be watching from afar and not getting involved.
Yeah, I don't think so. This is a Fang safe house. We've been got.
Ah, shit. Ambush, you think?
Wasn't sure until you just showed up. Jawood was bait, 2 people took it before you, and now most of us are in a box, which I imagine has just been sealed on us.
Oi, mage. Check the wards.
Hey, you got it, man. Uh-oh.
His grim look was all that I needed as confirmation. My eyes scanned the street again. Still nothing. I turned around to face them, already devising a plan.
Go! Cover the exits! We're gonna need to extract—
Wait.
Mr. What is it, stranger?
I've got a plan. We're gonna need to— I heard the shot echo and jerked my head to the side just in time. A path of pain sliced across my cheek, and Mr. Mather's face morphed into one of surprise. Before I could think, he was suddenly covered in an outbreak of red laser dots. So I didn't really think. I just moved.
It's okay. Thank you, stranger.
Take cover! We got 3 down already! Watch the windows, they got an oracle taking control!
Fuck, I don't have a gun!
We need to get out. Garrisons. We are not even moving targets here.
No offense, but you're the target here. In more ways than one. Not me.
I know this is not part of your contract, but if we can make an addendum.
Fuck! Stranger, it's just us, we gotta make a move!
I peeked around our concealment, hopefully not giving us away. There were 3 already half in the room. A mishmash of black market tap gear. They paused to reload and I caught a look at what they were carrying. It wasn't looking good.
I will make it with your while.
I'm really low on energy. How are you looking, Ren?
Ready and roaring.
Damn. I'll draw, you pounce.
You verse?
What's the chance one of you has an extra gun? I seem to have misplaced mine.
Of course. Never leave bed without one.
Mr. Mathers pulled a long-barreled and shiny automatic from somewhere. He must have been hiding it in his jacket. Well, I'll go take one of theirs, I guess. At best, we'd have 3 seconds to drop on them, if I can even maintain that. Alright. Well, here we go, as they say. 1 for the money, and 2 for the soul. My sight flashed green as soon as I stood up from the couch, and they squeezed their triggers before I was over. Everything slowed to a crawl, and I narrowly sidestepped their shots. And then I nearly tripped over my own 2 feet as a wave of nausea hit me from the draining magic. One was still in the doorway, the other 2 had started making their way into the room. If there was any chance we were gonna get out of this alive, we needed a clear exit. Alright, let's go. I snaked around, hitting the ground as I came near the doorway. Either he was stronger, or I was weaker than I thought, and it was hard to see him amongst all the flying rubble and debris in the air. I saw Maribeth pop up in the corner of my eye. She was halfway to the other 2 before they saw her. Only one got off a shot, and the other shot ricocheted somewhere in the green.
Hold him up.
I had no clue what she was going to do, but I also had no time to distrust her. So I did my best to get a better grip on the man trying to strangle the life out of me, and she appeared out of the corner of my eye, with all the vigor I know from Badge, slamming a metal boot into his chest. And mine.
Oh, I felt that. Oh. I'm covered in blood now. At least it's not mine. Oh.
This is a young person's game, and definitely no longer for me. So no time to rest, you two. I suspect there might be more outside.
The last guy had gotten back up with our backs turned, but fortunately Mr. Mathers was not a bad shot and got him before he got the element of surprise on us. Alright, let's see what we gotta work with. The smoke had cleared and we were crouched right beside the open door.
I'll take right, you take left. Sir, please stay low.
No, you take him, keep low, swing to the right, back for the alley. They'll expect us to take the cars.
And you?
I'm going to do what they expect, but I've got one more burst to get out before I drop.
Don't you have something to help you with that right now?
Only got one left.
What? You shouldn't be using them more than once a week. How much fucking calcium are you chewing through?
Enough that I could go for a bite of a whole ass chunk right now.
I don't mean to interrupt your two's little conversation, but
It's fine. I'm fine. Definitely fine. I haven't gotten shot by a bullet yet. Wait on me.
Fine. Just link comms and stay on the line.
Alright, I got it. Just hold here. I peered around the doorframe. Quiet. Dark. Someone had cut the street lights. I couldn't trigger my magic to help and slowly crept into the dark, hoping my barely existent memory would serve as a guide to where I remember seeing their...
What the hell was that?
Yeah, just tripped. Damn. Car's fine. Everything seems clear. Get moving.
We're going down the alley.
This would be a perfect time for a... I dove for cover, barely making it behind a crate as the air around me filled with death and annihilation. The house we came out of was quickly turning into a metal patchwork from the heavy caliber ammunition that was tearing into it.
Stranger!
The long one dead in my hands.
Oh, fuck.
I patted myself down for injuries, or options, whichever proved to be more pressing. All I had on me were the couple of magical totems that Cupid had given me oh so long ago. They were supposed to be for protecting myself against magical attacks like Mr. Clay's. But how did they work? They just absorb energy to a certain degree, right? What's it do with all that energy? What happens if I... Probably shouldn't even be hard to set off. Just a little bit of flexing of the old soul and whoa, these things glow really quickly. Yeah, I wonder how long it takes for the... Oh, okay. Not long at all, it would seem. Without actually knowing where we were being shot from, but being panicked that these overcharged totems would blow up in my hand, I just threw them as hard as I could across the street. First one blew a little early. Must have hit something like an electricity pole, because there was a crash and confusion right after.
Alright, later, suckers!
I don't know what the second one hit, as I was already running. Good thing, as from where I was now.
Alright, magic shockwave. That's new.
That being in a pile of debris and the remnants of the block I very cleverly put together, it must have been something explosive. I could hear them all around me. I didn't have a gun or any other weapon, and when I heard one of them coming around, I was ready to start throwing hands.
Oh, there you are.
It was Maribeth's auburn hair, framing a worried-looking face, smudged with ash and dust. Reached down and clasped my metal arm, jolting me upright in what appeared to be a smooth and easy motion for her. I was a child-sized rag doll, not half a body taller.
Should I even ask?
Nope. Why did you come back? I said get out with Mathers.
I don't follow your orders. He's got a car. He told me to come back for you. It seems we impressed him.
Great, because that's definitely what I'm trying to do.
Well, don't get snappy with me. I didn't ask for you to get involved.
Didn't hear you complain when it saved your ass.
Yeah, I know. Come on down here. We gotta hurry. It's turning up.
Mr. Stranger, I'm glad to see you are still alive.
Oh, did nearly dying upgrade me to a mister?
I think that's the least you deserve after that show, no?
He took out most of them back there, but this whole bar is gonna be crawling now.
Both of you have been very commendable at the time. I suddenly find myself a lot less trusting about many associates.
Thank you, Mr. Mathers, sir. Just doing my job.
If your sister and father were still here, I'm sure they'd be very proud. You do the Lashtor family proud. Now, compliments aside, either of you have a trusted place to go until we can get back up.
Well, you two know Resh, right? The engineer? The one who recommended me to you.
Of course, he is a very high quality manager of affairs. Excellent idea. Maribeth, please go ahead and let him know now of our arrival.
Another day in the city. You really never know you're in the thick of it until it's too late. Because everyone around here seems to be a player, but you never know who's dealing the cards. Unfortunately, not only am I not privy to the deck, I don't think I understand the game. Thank you for listening to A Man Called Stranger. Episode 13, A Real Mess of Things. Don't forget to like and review us wherever you listen, and follow us on Twitter at Freedom News for updates and more. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is the end of Act 3. But until then, a big thank you to our whole cast. Whiphand as Packet Tracer, Geevy as the Doctor, Renze as the Marshal, Gigahood as Voices of the City, A Confused Mistake as Cupid, and the Grim Barn as Stranger. Is that everyone this week? Oh yeah, guess so. And a thank you to everyone listening, and a reminder that we're not going anywhere. After the next episode, there's still 4 or 5 more episodes to the season, and side stories, and mini episodes, and a season 2. Yeah, so see you then. But you won't see me, or will you?